Hello everyone. Welcome to Inner Spark, where powerful stories awaken the belief that anything is possible. Today's story is something truly close to the heart. It's about a quiet teenager who always felt overlooked until one unexpected moment revealed a hidden talent that changed everything. If you've ever doubted yourself, felt like you didn't fit in, or wondered if you had something special inside you, this one's for you. Stick around till the very end, and if this story moves you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that spark confidence and courage. Ethan was a quiet, 16-year-old boy growing up in a small town. He didn't stand out, he wasn't top of the class, not sporty, and didn't say much in conversations. In school, people barely noticed him. Teachers often passed him over, and classmates hardly knew his name. But inside, Ethan held on to one silent hope that maybe, just maybe, he was meant for something more. He just hadn't found it yet. School days were tough. Every hallway felt like a race he couldn't win. Others were winning medals, leading clubs, or acing tests. Ethan? He quietly sat in the back, often wondering if he'd ever be good at anything. Comments like, "You're just too quiet," or "Maybe this isn't your thing," began to chip away at his confidence. But somewhere in the background of his heart, he kept hoping. One day during lunch break, Mr. Shah, the school's art teacher, happened to glance over Ethan's shoulder. He noticed a rough sketch of a bird that Ethan had drawn in his notebook, something he did often to pass the time. "Did you draw this?" Mr. Shah asked, genuinely surprised. Ethan nodded, nervous. "You've got talent, lad," the teacher said with a smile. 5 words and Ethan's world shifted. That small compliment planted something deep within him. That night, Ethan looked at his sketches with fresh eyes. Maybe there was something real there, something worth developing. For the first time, he wasn't just doodling to escape, he was drawing with intention. Every evening after school, he poured himself into sketching. It became his escape, his comfort, and his quiet passion. Still, he didn't show anyone. What if people laughed? What if they thought his drawings were silly? He kept it to himself, except for Mr. Shah, who encouraged him gently. "Real talent doesn't live in silence," he once said. Ethan wanted to believe him, but fear still ruled. It's strange how we often silence ourselves before the world ever does. A few weeks later, a school-wide art competition was announced. Posters went up. Submissions open to all. Mr. Shah nudged Ethan to enter. "You've got something worth showing." Ethan hesitated. "What if I fail?" he asked. "You already do," Mr. Shah replied softly. "If you don't even try." And with those words in mind, Ethan signed up. He worked on a piece unlike any he'd done before. A boy under a tree, reaching for stars, each one representing a dream. With every pencil stroke, Ethan poured out the doubts, dreams, and hopes he'd buried for years. He wasn't drawing just to compete, he was telling his story. When he looked at the finished artwork, he didn't see just a drawing. He saw himself. The day of the competition arrived. The school hall was buzzing with students, parents, teachers, and walls full of incredible art. Ethan placed his work in the display area, heart pounding. Others had used paint, color, complex techniques. His was simple, but it carried his truth. And sometimes, truth is more powerful than technique. As people walked by, Ethan watched from the back. And then, whispers, "This one's different. Who made this?" Someone even took a photo of it. Mr. Shah smiled from across the hall. Ethan didn't care if he won anymore. He'd done something braver. He'd shared his voice. When the results were announced, Ethan stood still. "First place," the principal said, "goes to a piece filled with emotion, symbolism, and honesty by Ethan Carter." Gasps, applause. Ethan walked up, trembling, but something inside had changed. For the first time in his life, he was seen. Not just as a student, but as someone with something to offer. After that day, Ethan felt different. He spoke with more confidence, smiled more, and even made new friends. People began asking about his art. Teachers praised his focus. But more than anything, Ethan finally believed what no one had ever told him before. You don't need to be loud to be powerful. His journey didn't stop there. He started attending art workshops on weekends, watched online tutorials, and practiced for hours. He wasn't just passionate, he was dedicated. Passion may be the spark, but discipline is what keeps the flame burning. And Ethan was on fire. Then came the setback. His artwork was rejected from a national youth exhibition. Ethan was crushed. Maybe I'm not that good after all, he thought. But then he remembered Mr. Shah's voice. Rejection is just redirection. He picked himself back up, reworked the piece, submitted again. This time, it got in. His story began to inspire others. Younger students asked him for tips. He started an after-school art group to help anyone express themselves through drawing. He realized that his story wasn't just his anymore. It was something that could lift others too. That's the real magic of growth, when your success becomes someone else's starting point. At home, even his parents, once unsure about his art thing, began to support him. They saw the change in him. His father, quietly proud, once said, "I see something different in your eyes when you draw. It's like you belong there." That meant more to Ethan than any medal. He applied for an art scholarship at a major college. In the city, nervously, he submitted his portfolio. Weeks passed, and then the letter arrived. He'd been accepted. He stood still for a moment, letter in hand, heart full. The boy who once faded into the background was now stepping into his future. Before leaving town, Ethan visited Mr. Shah to say goodbye. He hugged him and said, "You changed everything." Mr. Shah simply smiled. "You had it all along. You just needed someone to believe in you until you believed in yourself." Today, Ethan is in college, doing what he loves and still sharing his story. Online, he reminds young people across the world, you don't have to be the loudest, the fastest, or the best. You just need to start believing you matter. And if you're listening now, here's something to remember. No matter where you come from, no matter what people have said about you, there is something in you that the world needs. Maybe no one's seen it yet. Maybe even you haven't, but it's there, waiting. The world may not always recognize your value at first, but your belief in yourself can change everything. So don't wait for permission. Find your spark and let it shine.